Hello guys, welcome to today's episode. Today I'll be discussing the Fibonacci tool and how to set it and how to use it. Actually, I am doing this video for my friend Taisi because he has personally requested that I make a video for him. So this video is dedicated to him. A Fibonacci retracement tool is a tool that when you draw on your chart using the high and the low of a particular price swing, you can be able to see the midpoint of that range. So basically, a Fibonacci retracement, a Fibonacci tool is a tool that helps you to get the midpoint of a range because the midpoint of a range is where price mostly reacts from. For example, in a bullish trend, the midpoint of a range is the optimum trade entry, which means price is most likely to retrace to the midpoint before going up. And there is no way you can be able to determine the midpoint of the candle without a Fibonacci. Okay, so I will also walk you through on how to work with your Fibonacci retracement tool in the higher time frame range, which is when you're applying it to a higher time frame candle, or when you are applying it to a lower time frame swing. That is when when you go down to the higher time frame. If you go down to the lower time frame of this candle, you will see a lot of small candles doing something like this. So you can actually still use it inside many candles, or you can just use it for one candle like this. So let me quickly walk you through how you can set the Fibonacci tool. The Fibonacci tool on the trading view, for those of you that don't know, is here. I think this is like the toolbox or something. So it is directly below the trend line tool, and then you can just star add it to your favorite, so you can have it here. Okay, so I have my Fibonacci tool here. So once I click on it, I will draw out my Fibonacci tool. And now on this Fibonacci tool, uh, if you double click on it, you are going to see the settings inside here. Let me drag this out. If you notice here, you will see that I only have three levels on my chart. That's the high, the middle, and the low. And the high is 0, the low is 1, and the the middle is 0.5. So you want to mark out these ones, right? Look at my settings so that you can be able to use it to set your own. Now there are other points in the Fibonacci that you can also add if you are interested. That is the 0.25 and the 0.75 levels. So I will just add them and show you what the 0.25 and the 0.75 does. So the 0.25 will basically, this is the 0.25, it will divide the higher half of the Fibonacci into two, and the 0.75 will divide the lower part into two, for those of you that like to enter into the extreme levels of a retracement. Okay, so that is if you like to have it that way, but I prefer to have it just like this so that I don't confuse myself. So that is how you set your Fibonacci tool. Now, how do you use it on the higher time frame? On the higher time frame, you can use the Fibonacci and one candle. So I can drag my Fibonacci tool from the low of this one higher time frame candle to the high of this higher time frame candle. So I will have the midpoint as this level, right? So if price is coming down, for example, and I am bullish, I will be expecting to enter my position here to target the next swing point high. And if I'm bearish, I will be waiting for price on the bearish leg. For example, let me assume, let me take this Fibonacci to this swing point, for example. So let me just delete this one and use this swing, for example. So if I'm bearish, I'm waiting for price to come back to the midpoint before I sell to the other end of the Fibonacci 2. Okay, so on the lower time frame, you will be seeing Fibonacci on every price swings. That means swing highs and swing lows. That is how you can basically use your Fibonacci in the lower time frame. So let me just drop down to a chart so that I can show you exactly what I mean. So let me assume that I am using a Fibonacci on this range. Okay, this range that I've marked, the low and the high. I can take my Fibonacci tool and mark the low and the high like this. So I will be looking for buys below this level. Okay, the discount level of the Fibonacci 2 is below the 0.5, and the premium level is up here above the 0.5 level. That means I should not be looking for buy positions above this level. I should only be looking for sells and looking for buys here. That is when I applied it to a range. That is when I did it as a swing. Okay, as a swing. Or if I want to do it as a higher time frame range, that means I am waiting, I am losing only one candle. Okay, for example, this particular candle right here, I can take my Fibonacci retracement tool and mark the high and the low of this candle, and I'll be waiting to take short positions when price return to the midpoint of this candle body. Okay, but if I want to apply it to a particular price swing, that means I am considering the low and the high of a particular price swing. For example, the low and the high of this swing, I can just mark it this way, and I will expect price to retrace back to this level before I take a buy position. Okay, so that is basically how you use your Fibonacci retracement, Fibonacci tool. Okay, it's just marking out lows and highs and waiting for price. Let me delete this one. Marking out lows and highs and waiting for price to come down to the discount level. For example, in this price swing, you can see that I marked the low to the high of this swing, and I am waiting for price to retrace to the discount level before I take a buy position. So that will be all for this video. I don't want it to be long, but if you have any questions about how to use the Fibonacci tool, kindly drop a comment and I will attend to you. Okay, so good trading and have a nice day.